All right, number 5, we're going to be using synthetic division to find the value of the function. And it says check your work with a graphing calculator. So we're going to just do the same thing. This time they don't give us the value as a linear term. They just say f of -2. Okay, so -2 is going to be like our little box number. So I'm going to say -2. It's going to be my little half box. We have x to the 4th, coefficient of 1, x to the 3rd, -1, x squared, -11. The single x is 46, and then the constant is -25. Okay, so we have all of our terms. We're going to bring our first number straight down, which is a 1. We're going to multiply below the line. So I'm writing off screen. Sorry. So we're going to multiply -2 times 1, -2. Combine, we get a -3. -2 times -3, +6. Combine, we get a -5. -2 times -5, +10. Combine, that gives us a 56. -2 times 56 will give us a -112. Combine these, and that will give us -137. So this is our remainder. This is the value if we were to plug in a 2. So plugging in a 2, we can look at it a couple ways. We can do f of -2, which means everywhere we have an x, we're going to plug in -2. -2 to the 4th minus -2 to the 3rd minus 11 times -2 squared plus 46 times -2, and then minus 25. So if I plug this in a calculator like so, this should give me -137, provided we have not made any errors. Okay, so let's type this in. We're going to do -2 raised to the 4th minus -11 times -2 squared plus 46 times -2 and then minus 25. Okay, so let's double check. I typed in a lot of data. Data entry is probably the most common error if you're not careful. So we have x to the 4th, which is a -2 to the 4th, minus, we have a x to the 3rd, which is a -2 to the 3rd, minus 11 times x squared, so -2 to the 2nd power, plus 46 times x to the -2, and then here. So plugging that in, we get -137. Takes a bit. You can also do it in y equal. So I like doing it in y equal, so I'll probably do it here from now on, but I just want you to see a couple different options. So I'm going to do x to the 4th minus x to the 3rd minus 11x squared plus 46x minus 25. So I can type all this in, provided I got it correctly, and hit graph. I don't really care about what the graph shows. I just need to make sure that number that I'm going to type in, -2, is within the viewing window. So if I hit trace and I type -2, it will give me the y value, -137, and I like doing it this way. It's a lot less with parentheses and typing in the -2 several times. So -137 is the value, and that's what we're using synthetic division to confirm.